Very busy. Yeah, it's very busy, but very thoughtful and very bright students. So I'm having a great time and a good team.
How does it compare to a careers fair that you are used to from America?
Well, that's a good question. More preparation, I would say. Students seem more prepared. Back in the States, they'll roll in with t-shirts. I had a student with torn jean shorts and a dog not too long ago, so a little bit different in terms of preparation.
So hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of CityEngine TV and another episode of the Hot Seat. And today in the Hot Seat with me is Johannes Schmid, so Joe. And Joe is like the lead software developer for the 3D component of the Esri JavaScript API. And he works here at Zurich. And yeah, maybe Joe, just quickly sort of tell us a little bit about yourself. When you joined Esri, why do you like working here? What's your favorite part of your job?
Sure, yeah. I'm kind of like a Zurich native. I had the pleasure to be born here next to the best university in the world, ETH. So I really got into computer graphics as a kid, you know, games and stuff. And then I joined ETH and did my master's here in computer science, and then did my PhD at Disney Research, also in computer graphics. And then after that joined Esri, so it's my first real job here. Started almost 5 years ago, and that was just around the time that this whole like 3D on the web thing started to pick up. And I kind of slipped into it, you know, right at the beginning, and stayed there ever since. It was just such a fantastic ride because we started really small, but everything kept working out and it got bigger and more important. And there was something new to do, you know, every week, and it just has kept me like really busy and excited throughout these 5 years.
And like, do you have like a favorite part of what you do? What do you look forward to most when you come to work every day?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, that's the reason why I got into computer graphics, I guess a little bit, is that I really like nice pictures, but I'm really bad at drawing, so I'm like a failed artist. But computers kind of like produce these nice images for me. So what I like the most is when something, you know, something we code works out and ends up looking really nicely on screen. Yeah, when it looks good, exactly.
So Joe and I would like to show you something really cool today. The last week in Palm Springs we had the Esri Dev Summit, and at Dev Summit obviously we announced a couple of new features, and one of those new features is edge rendering. So with this feature, you can render the edges of buildings and objects as lines, which not only looks really cool, but also helps you to sort of set your buildings and surroundings into context. So Joe, maybe now you can give us a little bit of background information on how this feature was developed and the idea behind it, and sort of how it made it into the product.
Sure, yeah. So it's quite interesting because we arrived at the solution of edge rendering kind of from two different directions. One was a long time struggle that we had to, on the one hand, render the 3D objects exactly at the color that the users picked, for example, bright orange, while at the same time having enough contrast, enough lighting variation in the scene that you can perceive the 3D shapes well. And then the other direction was that we heard that you guys out there have these situations where it would be cool to render the scenes in a kind of sketchy way. So Raluca and Adrian from our team started a research and innovation project to try out methods to make our scenes look more kind of like stylized and hand-drawn.
And yeah, maybe just some information for you guys as well about our research and innovation project. So we do these sort of projects within our office very consistently, where people can come up with an idea, and then based on that they have time to sort of flesh out the idea. And that's sort of where a lot of our R&D efforts come from here, is from all the great ideas that here actually have, and that gives us like an opportunity to actually, you know, build something cool that might even hopefully make it into the product.
Like in this case.
Like in this case. So now we'd like to give you guys a little bit of a demo of what this looks like within our product, just so you can get a bit of a better feeling for it.
So here's a scene of the city of Zurich, and you can see that from some viewing angles, depending on the light, you can actually see the 3D geometry quite well, whereas from other angles it pretty much just looks like a gray blob. And if I activate edge rendering now in this scene, you can see that immediately all of the geometric details start to pop out, and it's really easy now to understand what's going on.
Yeah, it looks a lot crisper.
Exactly, and you immediately see how the shapes are done and everything. So yeah, here's a second example for that, this time with a texture building, also a redevelopment scene, but again, if I turn on edge rendering, it makes the scene much crisper, much more analytic in a sense, but at the same time gives it a different visual style as well. And to also show an example of this kind of sketchy look, in this Zurich scene there's also a fictional redevelopment scenario. Any Zurich dweller can immediately tell that this is not how it looks like. And in order to convey that to the viewers of the scene, if I make this look sketchy using these sketchy edge renderings, you know, it kind of conveys this message that this is not as built, this is just someone sat down and scribbled in on a piece of paper as an idea. So that's how this stylized edge rendering can really help to convey a message. It's not just about visual styling, and it's also not just about shape perceptibility.
Awesome. So yeah, we think it's awesome. We also hope that you think it's awesome. So again, if you want to give us feedback on what you're using maybe edge rendering for, or generally give us feedback on some of our ideas and features or things that you really want to see, then just get in touch with us.